Before we start formatting our book, let's talk about formatting marks and special characters. Formatting marks and special characters are going to help us reveal certain aspects of our Microsoft Word document. It's going to help us reveal characters that are useful when it comes to identifying typical errors that occur in our document. I'm going to jump inside of the docs folder and open manuscript.doc. We have already established that manuscript.doc is the file that we would be modifying. A quick note on formatting marks. And I want to draw your attention to this icon on the Home tab that I'm hovering over. It gives me an option to show or hide formatting marks. But first of all, what is a formatting mark? A formatting mark is a special character that is hidden by default in Microsoft Word. These marks affect how text is displayed in a document. Its purpose is to reveal spaces, tabs, and paragraph marks. Maybe you have line breaks and section breaks in your document, and as you design your book, it could help you easily identify certain sections. So when I click Show Formatting Marks, you would notice that the contents of my Word doc file, it changes. It shows me where the paragraph occurs. It shows spaces between words. There's a little dot halfway up the line that represents a space. Note that if you were to print this document, the formatting mark does not display. It is not shown on the printed page. It is simply here for the design process. So it's very easy. Say, for example, there was an error like multiple spaces between paragraphs. You could use this formatting mark here to quickly identify such an item. Pay attention to this first paragraph where there are additional spaces between the words "it was." It's displayed as a series of dots midway up the line. Throughout this course, we would use formatting marks to display different sections of our document. Let's talk about special symbols and special characters. Special characters and symbols don't correspond to the standard English alphabet. They may refer to a currency, a unique sign, or letters from other languages. In Microsoft Word, there are special characters to represent different aspects of your document. For example, there's a special character to represent a new paragraph. If I was to hit Ctrl F on the keyboard and bring up the advanced find option, let me pull your attention to the more option. When I click on it, I have the ability to search for different sections of my document. And I could actually search for special characters. I could search for a paragraph mark, a tab character. I could search for any digit in my document and any letter. So let's say I was searching for a paragraph. When I click Find Next, it's going to consistently find new paragraphs inside of my document. You're probably asking yourself, how is this useful? I could use special characters to detect common errors in my document. For example, a common error when formatting a document is the writer is so hastily writing that they may have included spaces after a new paragraph or at the beginning of a new paragraph. If I type the special character, which is this thing that looks like an up arrow, it's called a caret, C-A-R-E-T, followed by lowercase p. That's the special character to represent a paragraph. And then I follow it with a space, and then I click Find Next. Microsoft Word has found a paragraph with spaces at the beginning. This is a common error to include spaces at the beginning of paragraphs. It is something that your grammar checker in Microsoft Word may not have necessarily detected. A good idea is to run your grammar checker before you begin formatting your document in Microsoft Word. You don't want to be in the book design process and simultaneously editing, designing, looking for errors. It's been my experience where I'm editing a document, I'm introducing editing changes in the book design process and simultaneously introducing new errors. So I could use these special characters to my advantage in searching out for common errors. Before you begin formatting your book, it's a fantastic idea to search for multiple spaces and replace them with a single space. If I hit Ctrl F on the keyboard, pull up the advanced find, and on my replace tab, I'm going to type find what. I want to find 2 spaces and replace it with 1 space. And I'm going to click replace all. Word has made 39 replacements. The idea is to run this multiple times until Word does not find any additional spaces. Replace all again. 24 replacements. Replace all again until it says 0 replacements. Using special characters in Microsoft Word, you could search for spaces at the beginning of paragraphs. Click More, where it says Special, choose Paragraph Mark, and then include a space under Find What. Click Find Next, and Microsoft Word is going to find all the instances of paragraphs where there are spaces at the beginning. I'm quickly going through the document. To get rid of these spaces, you could do a replace all or manually replace them one by one. Find all instances of a paragraph with a space and replace it with a paragraph. Choose replace all. 23 replacements were made. Let's do one more quick example using special characters. I am going to use Microsoft Word to find all instances where there is a letter immediately after a full stop, meaning there's no space as there should be. So I'll type full stop, go down to special, and I want to find any instance of a letter. So I choose the any letter option. Any letter is represented by that up arrow or caret followed by a $sign. Choose find next. Here's an instance where there's the word he right after the full stop. If you ran the grammar checker would have detected this error for you. You could search for them and remove them as you go along. Here's another instance. He was a great man, full stop. But the A is right up against the period or full stop. You could search for them, change them one by one, or run your grammar checker. The last thing we'll talk about before moving on is the em dash, em dash. A lot of writers use 2 dashes to represent an em dash. I'm going to search through my document, and here are those 2 dashes. Chances are this writer really wanted to use an em dash. There are multiple ways to do this in Microsoft Word. I could type dash dash, and then after the word, when I hit space, Microsoft Word automatically changes it to an em dash. Another way to include an em dash is by holding down the Control and Alt key, and on your numpad, hit the minus sign. We are going to go through this document and remove all instances of 2 dashes to change it to an em dash. And in the next section, we'll talk about formatting our document, starting with the page sizes and the margins and the line spacing.